All right. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the 6-hour drive here and then 6 hours when I go back tonight. So I have been coaching club for 21 years. I started my senior year of high school back in Yakima, Washington. I don't know if you guys even know where Yakima is, but and then I played a few different colleges. I had back injuries, so it took me both D1, D2, and then junior college and all sorts of stuff. But I was a D1 coach, D2 coach, and now I get the fabulous job of being a volleyball scout, and I help promote athletes to colleges for National Scouting Report. I'm the national director for volleyball recruiting, and I'm not here to talk about NSR, but it's basically a program that we help you guys get promoted to colleges across the country based off the level that I feel your daughter can play at, also with the opinions of your coaching staff too. So I'll get a chance to evaluate athletes and then also talk to coaches, the club coaches, and say, here's where I think of your athlete, and if she has a different opinion based off of what she knows of you, even more so, then you can go off of that too. But basically I'm here to talk about recruiting and the process of recruiting, what college coaches are looking for, also things that might, kind of the box that colleges are looking for each different level. So who in here wants to play college volleyball? I know parents aren't going to raise their hands, but I know, yes. You will not regret trying to play college volleyball. There is no greater experience than being a collegiate athlete, and I'm sure some parents in here have been collegiate athletes. It is such an amazing opportunity. It changes your life, and you will never regret trying to get that college scholarship. Parents, you're going to love the college scholarship because it is so expensive to go to school. But there are different levels. So the NCAA has divisions 1, 2, and 3. NCAA is its own governing body. There's rules that are allowed. The coaches, they have to stick with these rules based off the division that they're in, based off of the grade that your daughter's in, and based different sports too. So with Division 1, the box, who in here can touch 10 feet? Ooh, I got a finger. Okay. It's not all about 10 feet. It's not all about the jump touch, but there is a box that coaches will look at on paper. So when you're emailing a school and you say, I'm 5'5", I touch 8'4", I'm a middle blocker. You're not going to go play Division I volleyball, at least not as a middle blocker. Okay, so a lot of college coaches are looking for that athlete that's about 5'11" and higher, that can touch 10 feet and higher. There's an athlete, I think Washington State has a middle that's touching 10'8", which is phenomenal. And that's Pac-12. Pac-12 volleyball is one of the top 5 conferences in the country, and those athletes are just phenomenal. So not a lot of volleyball players. There's 500,000 high school volleyball players out in the country. There's like 0.02% will go play in the Pac-12. So that's just kind of a higher standard right there. But Big Sky, Montana State, they're looking for those athletes. I talked to those coaches. They want kids that are touching about 10 feet. Now, if you're touching 9'11", 9'10", do you have the ball control? What other attributes can you give? What other great things can you bring to the court and off the court that they're going to actually take a look at you if you're not touching that high? If you're a libero, don't worry, your jump touch does not matter. They don't care how you can touch to jump and dig a ball. So just the front row players, that's kind of the starting point for when a college coach will actually look at you. Okay? Setters, you don't have to touch 10 feet. They're looking more at 9'6" and higher, because if they're going to run a 5-1 offense and you have to be up front to block, you can't be this high above the net to block someone that is touching 10 feet over and over and hitting over you. So there are different standards for different positions, but kind of that's the level. With Division I volleyball, there are 12 full ride scholarships that a D1 school can give. Division I volleyball cannot split up scholarship money. It is a full ride or nothing. So if you don't receive a volleyball scholarship, you're considered a walk-on. But you still have to go get recruited. You can't just show up on the court and say, hi coach, I'm here. Okay, so there's still that recruiting process. There are Division I athletes committing in the 8th grade. Isn't that crazy? I think when I hear of an athlete saying, yeah, I'm going to commit to Michigan or wherever they commit to, As an 8th grader, that is just insane to me. But it happens all the time with volleyball, lacrosse, soccer, and softball. So the earlier you can get started, if that's your goal is to play Division I volleyball, then the recruiting process starts really, really early. A lot of offers go out sophomore years too. So if you're a freshman, start on that recruiting process now. Okay? Colleges can email you one time. They cannot email you again until after September 1st going into your junior year. So if you receive a letter from a D1 coach as a freshman, you will not hear back from them as a recruiting. You can hear from them from camps, you can hear from administration, but that's it. You will not get another letter until after September 1st going into your junior year. So there are recruiting rules and limitations that the NCAA has put on Division I schools. Okay? So a coach can't call you until after September 1st. They can't text you, whatever. But you are free to email as much as you want to college coaches. You are allowed to call a college coach anytime you want. They probably won't pick up the phone, okay? Because I know when I sat in the office, I coached at Gonzaga. I hated those phone calls from Dad saying, my daughter is the best. Great, I'm sure she is in your eyes, but here's what we're looking for. You know, she's too small. I mean, everyone, I have a child. He's the greatest thing. He can't do any wrong. But, okay, reality is, where does your daughter fit? Coaches don't want to hear from the parents anyways. They want to hear from the athletes. They want to hear from the coaches. They do not want to hear from mom and dad. Okay, so kids, you guys are allowed to email. You may not hear back from them. You're allowed to make phone calls. You may not get a call back. But college coaches can contact these guys. They can say, hey, I love Susie Q. She called me last night. I can't call her back. Please have her call me tomorrow night at 5. So there's that kind of interaction that can take place to get you guys set up for phone calls and emails and things like that, okay? All right. You don't have to write these numbers down, but...
Skills. Yeah. Little kid skills.
Nice. Okay, there are 334 Division I volleyball programs in the country. So you times that by 12, there's 4,008 scholarships in Division I volleyball. So it's really not that much, okay? And I'm going to go over these numbers again at the end because it's going to all come together. You cannot take an official visit until you start your first day of your senior year. That is so late when you're going to make a commitment. Like I said, there's girls that are committing in the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. So when you guys want to go to campus, you make a college visit, it's called an unofficial visit where it's on your dime. If it's an official visit, which I have girls on official visits actually this last weekend and this coming weekend, that's when the school actually pays for you to come down. So a lot of times what they'll do is when you make your verbal commitment, when they've offered you that scholarship and you've said, yes, I'm coming here, then you're going on your unofficial visit, it's on your own dime. Later on, they'll actually pay for you to come down and meet all the other girls that are coming to campus too for that graduating year. So you want to go visit as many schools as you can. Okay, really get a feel for what is important to you, what fits your personality based off of the coaching style, how far away from home, how big is the city, how big is the campus, how big are class sizes, does it have the major that you want? All of that information is going to really determine if you're going to be successful in school, okay, because you are a student first before an athlete. Okay, so make sure that academically it's the right fit. Okay, we're going to get off of D1 because there's a lot of other ones. D2. So those athletes are a little bit lower on the height and jump touch, but yet still are also at that jump touch. There's a lot of D2 schools that are asking me for anyone that touches 10 feet and higher. Again, they still even want that jump touch as well, especially if you're in the middle. But they are looking at girls that are 9'6", 9'7", 9'8", 9'9", 9'10", all the way up. Okay, basically it's off of your skill level at that point. So if you are 6'3" and touch 10'3", but aren't that quick laterally, or you don't have the other skills to go with it, you might be a Division II athlete. Okay, so it really depends on the skills. D2 has 8 full ride scholarships that they can give. Now D2 can split up athletic scholarship money. So 16 girls can receive scholarship money athletically. Okay, Division II can split athletic money. Okay, so this is really important too for everybody. Academics a lot of schools, especially when they can split up money, they're going to see what kind of academic money you qualify for based off your grades, your SATs, ACTs, and then they're going to say, great, our school can pay 50% of your tuition. We'll go ahead and cover the rest. Now you're on a full ride scholarship. But it's only costing the athletic department 50% of a scholarship. So girls, grades and test scores are extremely important. Even in Division I, the academic money that you can qualify for is going to save the athletic department that much money in their scholarship. You won't get that extra money. Like I said, you're on a full ride or nothing. You don't see that extra. But it saves the athletic department money. So now, because of your grades and your test scores, you are more recruitable than the other girl that is your same height, same jump touch, that's maybe a 2.2 GPA, okay? So your GPAs and your test scores are really important at all levels, okay? So Division II, there are 311 D2 schools for a total of 2488 scholarships, okay? So again, I'm gonna come back to all these numbers here, and it'll be a, whoa, that's crazy. So you can receive stuff, the one letter again, but now you can receive stuff multiple times as much as you want. Instead of September 1st, it's June 15th after your sophomore year. Okay, so right after you're done, June 15th is when you can start getting letters, text messages, phone calls, as many times as coaches want to. Okay, so it's a little bit earlier than D1. You can take an official visit also starting June 15th, going into after your sophomore year, junior year, or summer. Okay, so it's a little bit earlier for official visits. Again, an official visit is when they pay for you to come. They can also pay for stuff for the parents too. Okay, but they mostly just pay for the kids to come, and if it's, they might set you up in a hotel, parents. They usually don't pay for your flights either, but who knows, maybe if they really like you, they will. Just kidding. Division III, zero athletic money. Nothing at all. These are the private schools, typically, smaller schools, the $60,000 a year schools. There is no athletic money. It's all academics. Okay, so the Division III athlete is that high academic girl, okay, kid, athlete, whatever, that has high test scores. They want a small school. A lot of them are Christian-based or some religious-based school. Again, all it is academic money, but they have merit scholarships and leadership scholarships. And some schools you can even go down. When you apply, you can go down. You can take kind of another SAT, but it's basically for that Division III school, and that might get you extra scholarship money. So a rule of thumb kind of for the D3 schools, if you have really good grades and test scores, cut the tuition in half, and that's about what you're going to pay. Okay, Ivy League schools also don't give athletic money, so that's on your own as well. So just be aware when you are looking at D3s versus D2s, D1s, maybe that D3 school is the right fit for you. I have girls that have played, or who have that potential to play D2 or D1 that have chosen Division III because of the size. They have, the academic part that they want, and it's just a better fit for them. So that is D3. There's 435 Division III schools out there. They don't have any really recruiting rules, so they'll start contacting. They can contact anytime, but they normally don't. The recruiting process for Division III happens later because they understand athletes want to go D1, and then when they decide they can't go D1, they want to go D2. Then they realize, oh, we're not Division II either. Now the D3 schools are coming in a lot of times the senior year and making those offers. So it happens a lot later in the process, okay? So that's NCAA. There's also NAIA. It's its own governing body. There's a lot of NAIA schools here in Montana too. So it's a great option. I love the NAIA. I compare it to Division II, that level, maybe a little bit lower than D2, but they also have 8 full ride scholarships that they can give. They can split those up. They just like D2, but they do have athletic scholarship money as well as academic money. And I think NAIA is so overlooked, and so many people say, because I say in the order D1, D2, D3, NAIA, that people think NAIA is like the lowest on the totem pole, and it's not. It is not. So it's a great option for a lot of our athletes to go NAIA. There's 219 NAIA programs in the country for 1,752 total scholarships. They do not have contact rules. They can do anything they want. They can contact you anytime. They are not restricted on what they can do. Okay? You can even sign a letter of intent anytime. Whereas Division I and Division II, you can't sign. The early signing date's in November of your senior year. But NAIA, you can sign a letter of intent anytime. So there's that for you. Okay, so with those numbers I threw out there, that's 8,248 total full ride scholarships in the country. Now divide that by 4. There are just a little over 2,000 scholarships, full ride scholarships, given out every year. You divide it by 4 because of freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Just over 2,000 in the country. Granted, yes, some can split, so there's more that are actually given out, but that is such a low number, such a low number. With 500,000 high school athletes in volleyball out there, that's hardly anything, okay? So, recruiting is a competition. You guys are competing with every other athlete playing club volleyball in the whole entire country, okay? So, what are you going to do to get yourself noticed and promoted so coaches know who you are? There are 4 stages of the recruiting process. The first one is identification and recognition. How are you being identified? Are you going to a club tournament hoping that a coach walks by and sees you make a phenomenal play right at that moment? When I coached at Gonzaga, I went with a list of athletes to look at with their little schedules all over the place, and I'm heading from court 1 to court 200, trying to make that next hour's match, those big tournaments. Okay, I'm speeding past, trying to get to the next athlete to actually evaluate her, that I don't know how many athletes I overlooked that I didn't see. Okay, so making yourself identified, emailing coaches. It's really important for you guys to email coaches. But what are you emailing them? Do you have video? Taking video is crucial. And so many parents, I love it, you see in the back of the court all these iPads on the tripods or phones, or the mom sitting there, right there following her kid doing this. When you guys set up video, set it up in the middle back of the court and don't move it. Do not make the coach seasick. Okay? Put it in the middle back and let it run. Now, edit that and make it about a 4-minute video, and then that'll be good enough for the college coach to see it. So you need to edit your video, make yourself stand out in it somehow, whether you say, I'm the one with the bright pink headband, or I'm the one with the bright shoelaces on my shoes, I'm number 7, I'm the libero, I'm whatever position. If it's not obvious who you are, try to put a little arrow or a shadow on yourself, but making sure the coaches know who you are and having that video and always keeping it current is really important. Coaches are always asking for updated video. I sent a coach video, and 2 days later he goes, does she have updated stuff? And it was like a month old of video. We want to see current video. So parents, unfortunately, have a tough job of always having video and being ready to edit it. GoPros are awesome. And then I have an athlete whose mom has a delete. She can delete the stuff right off the bat. I mean, after a play, if her daughter didn't touch the ball, she just pushes delete from that time. And it's edited by the time she gets home from the tournament. So keeping video current is important. So that's part of identifying. So emailing coaches, put in your graduating class. Don't put, I'm a freshman. Put, I'm a class of 2020. I'm a setter. I'm 5'9". I jump touch, which John Henry touched on that a little bit. Knowing your jump touch is really important. Okay, put that in there. If you're a libero, you need to put that in there. Put your GPA in there. Put your coach's contact information in that email as well, and then attach your video. Make it short and sweet to the point. Coaches aren't going to read a big long email. Make it one little paragraph, and then put contact information. Put your tournament schedule or your first day tournament schedule, because that's usually know that when you go to big tournaments like Denver and Far Western or wherever you guys are planning to go. You always know that first day schedule. Put that in there. Put your team name, your number, make it obvious who you are, okay? But email coaches that information a couple days before the tournament. After you are identified, you will then be evaluated, whether it's on your video or if it's on the court in person. So the coaches are going to put you on the list. When they receive your email, if they're interested in what they've seen, then they're going to see you live. They're going to make it a point to see you live at whatever tournament that you're going to. So that's when they're going to evaluate you. And then they're going to compare you to everybody else in your class, in your position. Okay? Comparing your skills, grades, character. I'll talk about what all coaches are looking for here. Once they've compared you to everybody, then the offer is made. They'll go with their top offer. If that person says no, they go to the second person, and so forth and so forth. Okay? What coaches are looking for, obviously the overall skill. They're looking for coachability. I heard them talk about, what they want from you guys as players. Don't roll your eyes. Obviously, you're the first person to help your teammate off the ground after they tried for a ball and failed. You're the first person to pat them on the back. You are the first person to get to the bench and look at your coach, have your water bottle, and not shaking it at mom and dad going, I'm empty. How many of you girls do that to your parents? Shake your empty water bottle to go fill it. Be accountable for your own stuff. Fill up your own water bottle before a match, okay? But don't be attitude shaking your water bottle. Work ethic. How hard are you going for every play? Every single play matters. You don't know when a coach is watching you, so every single play matters. Play out there like a coach is watching you. Every single point. Okay? Like I said, when a mistake is made, you're the first person to go over to your teammate and help them up or pat them on the back. If you make the mistake, I got this. I'm right there, and not shying away and putting your head down. Okay? If you're on the bench that game, because coaches take turns with playing girls, right? Sometimes it's your turn to sit. You better be the best teammate out there. Coaches are watching this stuff. I have marked kids off of my list because I would see their attitude on the bench. That's not somebody I want in my college program. There's plenty of you out there, okay? They can move on to the next person. Again, grades are crucial. Got to have good grades. And typically volleyball players have great grades. We normally don't have to worry about volleyball athletes. We always have good grades. Parents, don't ruin it for your kid. Don't ruin it for your kid. Do not be the coach, the ref, the crazy parent saying to these poor little 12-year-olds, score, score, flip the score. They're going to have it on paper. Don't freak out if they don't turn the card in time. Okay? Don't be that crazy parent that is sitting there yelling or talking smack about a teammate. I sat next to one of these parents the other night and it drove me nuts. He was talking bad about the other girls on the court. Like his daughter was the best. And I just had to say, you need to knock it off. It was one of my athletes' parents. Knock that off. It was embarrassing to me. Parents, you are one of four things. You're the parent. You're not the coach. You're not the player. You're not the ref. So be the parent, support, okay, pay the bills, get your kids to practice on time, okay? So parents have ruined it for kids. They have ruined it for kids. I have turned down athletes because I felt the parents were too much. College coaches want to talk to the athlete, someone like me, and then the coaches, the club coaches, okay? And I love club coaches. Club coaches are the best. I know I put so much time and effort and love and time commitment into this, so you guys are awesome for doing this, honestly. I had to quit because I travel too much, and I'm sad to quit coaching club. So, the NCAA and NAIA eligibility centers. Every athlete that goes and plays in college, you need to be registered within the NCAA and or the NAIA. This clears you, it keeps you, make sure that you are academically eligible to play in college, and also make sure that you haven't received money to play professionally. Is any professionals in here? No? Okay, good. So no one's received money to play volleyball. Perfect. So it checks your amateur status. So it makes sure that you are eligible to play in college. The NCAA has one. Unless you go D3, you don't need to. NAIA. But before you go on any sort of official visits, you have to be cleared from the NCAA. Okay? I'm trying to go quick here because I know everyone probably wants to get out of here. A couple little fun facts. Like I said, there's about 500,000 high school volleyball players in the country. There's 27,000 college volleyball players. Okay? There's 5.9% of high school volleyball athletes play in college. 5.9%. It's not that many. So there's not enough room for you. 500,000 people can't play, right? So there's not enough schools for that. So 1.2% play Division I. I want you guys to think about what's important for you as an athlete when you're looking at colleges. The earlier you start, the more opportunity you're going to have, the more options there are available, the better your grades are. You're not throwing away opportunities too if the school has higher academic standards. Okay? Social media. How many of you guys have social media? Girls, keep it clean. College coaches, as soon as they know about you, they are going to look you up on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever other social media you have. If they see anything wrong, bye-bye. No bad tweets, no negative talk, no standing in pictures with anything that looks like it even could be alcohol. Okay, even like a red Solo cup that has water in it. Parents, I know you know what I'm talking about. Okay, but that red Solo cup, if you have water in there, girls, it looks like it could be alcohol. Okay, perception is reality. Keep your social media clean. Have volleyball pictures in there. Have fun pictures with your friends. Be likable on social media. Okay, don't be provocative. Be respectful of yourself. Okay, and respectful of everybody else. You know, there's some myths with college recruiting. If I'm good enough, they'll find me. Everybody has a different path of recruiting. Everybody. The girl that walks into a gym that's 6'7", that ends up being a left-handed setter, she's probably going to have a different recruiting path than 5'9". Okay? She stands out above everybody else. How many 5'9", 5'10", even 5'11", even 6 feet tall is now the norm for heights for volleyball players? I was at a function on Saturday night with an Olympian who's 6'7", and I went to put my arm around her. Her rear end was right here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like, she was huge, 6'7". There are athletes out there that are that big. She had a different recruiting process than someone like me, a 5'9" setter. Okay? So, if you're not obvious, don't expect to go to club tournaments and just be seen like that and picked up. Okay? Don't wait for your coaches who have jobs, families, a social life, any other thing to be sitting there emailing 1,000 schools for each one of you all the time. Don't wait for them to do it. Have conversations with them. They can guide you. There's a lot of experience up here. They can absolutely guide you through the process, but don't let them and expect them to do everything for you. Okay? Even when you work with me, I do a ton. That's my full-time job. But you've got to take ownership of your recruiting process. You have one shot to be recruited. That's it. One opportunity. That is it. So what are you going to do to make the most of it and promote yourself and talk to college coaches and make sure that they know who you are? Okay? If I'm not a senior, I have time. Yeah, when you become a senior, you're looking at D3s, some NAIs. But D1s are pretty much gone unless you're going to be a walk-on or they get an injury to one of their players and they have to fill that spot next year. Okay, so the recruiting process starts as early as the 8th grade, and it can go all the way to your senior year. There's a place for everybody to play. If you're a junior college player, great. Go have a great experience at the junior college. There's nothing wrong with that. You get 2 years to play there. It's cheaper to get your AA degree and transfer to a 4-year. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is a place for everybody to play. So finding the right fit for you is really important. So I went really fast, but I feel like it took a lot of time. So do you guys have any recruiting questions? Not necessarily about your own daughters, but anything recruiting-wise. Anybody? Okay. Sounds good. That's it.
So I don't know, I took a bunch of notes and we'll have the video on the website so that you can go back and take a lot of those notes because that was such great information. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, awesome. I'm going to turn the video off. We are going to start doing paperwork. So if you